The fight with the Black Baron from Mad World isn't your traditional final boss. He's just a guy you have to kill to be the best in Deathwatch, who also happens to be a superpowered pimp who wants his backhand on your face.
The Black Baron fight is pretty simple on a technical level. You just have to wait for him to let his guard down and then cut him to ribbons with your chainsaw. Despite this, the fight maintains solid difficulty through having numerous attacks that require unique ways of dodging them. The Baron gets more superpowers as the fight goes on, reflected in his change of music from the laid-back yet boastful Look Pimpin' to the downright pissed So Cold. It's the kind of battle that knows what it is. For a game with a surprisingly serious storyline and gameplay that's probably making Jack Thompson's career roll in its grave, if the final battle was against some corrupt businessman, it would probably suck harder than the Baron's hoe.
The battle with the Black Baron is ridiculous and ridiculously enjoyable. And thankfully the Baron died more than once in Mad World, or else he wouldn't have an excuse to come back for Anarchy Reigns.
You better recognize.
Kid Icarus was a Nintendo game with grounds in mythology, from encounters with typical Greek figures to a main character inspired by the myth of Icarus, to flying noses and eyeballs. Flash forward to 25 years later, when Kid Icarus Uprising delivers one big fuck you to any pretense of mythology left in this series.
I mean, seriously, you are fighting the Greek god of the underworld in a freaking mech suit! While your final battle with Hades plays out like any other air battle in Uprising, there's an unusual twist. In this battle, your mech suit slowly sustains more damage and changes forms, forcing you to adapt your strategy to take down Hades while he switches forms and attacks too. This is one battle that can quickly turn into bullet hell, no thanks to the abundance of homing shots fired by Hades.
But aside from how well it tests your skills with air battles, what we love about this fight more than anything else is the sheer amount of crazy in it. From the Looney Tunes style banter between Pit and Hades,
Hades! 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 Hades!
to a giant sexually suggestive tornado,
Get in. I have something to show you.
to summoning Medusa and having her punch Hades' head clean off, this battle will have you constantly coming back to blast Hades and his troll face into oblivion. I mean, wow, Hades!
A deep and thoughtful boss battle in a game about a guy killing people to get laid? Sure, why not? At this point, No More Heroes 2, Travis Touchdown is starting to see the horror of what his assassinations mean, but hasn't been fully enlightened yet. Then he meets Alice, an ascetic who's long since realized the UAA's pointlessness.
Aside from her gentle grievous-ing and her ability to fire lasers from a mechanical perch, the Alice duel is shockingly fair. Alice's moves are strikingly similar to Travis's, down to the spin slices and rapid dodges. Her close-range attacks also make the battle pretty fun, as they enable you to sidestep away from them and deal a crapload of damage.
This battle is kind of like a symbolic transfer of knowledge. When Travis brutally kills Alice, he effectively arrives on her mental level by realizing that killing senselessly has only made him miserable. Travis's assassinations led to the vengeful murder of his best friend, and now he's furious that he's lost someone equal in understanding to him. Suda51 intended this game to be a meditation on the nature of fighting, and the Alice battle hammers home the point that such wanton violence will never satisfy, rendering the battle with Jasper Twat Jr. completely redundant and only there so Travis can finish the game's plot. No, fuck! Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island is a game starring not Mario, but Baby Mario. So, naturally, instead of the usual Bowser battle, we got Baby Bowser, who's just as pathetic as you'd imagine. Oh, fuck that! What the hell do I do now?
Nothing in Yoshi's Island could match the horror you felt upon first encountering giant Baby Bowser, except maybe the Poochie levels. Not only was the Baby Godzilla here ominously shadowed in the background, you were forced to literally change your perspective on the game in this fight.
You had to start aiming into the background instead of across it, and as Bowser approached ever faster, you really had to get used to this new aiming system, or you run out of time, and damn, this was intense! Not much else to say except...
Normally, I'd say the term Master of Nothing would be an insult, but leave it to that series with the kid and his key to teach me otherwise. Enter the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2, Xemnas. To make a very long story short, this guy just doesn't let up.
After fighting him one-on-one in a blade clash that goes into Matrix levels of Gravity Defiance, it only gets crazier from there. From using reaction commands to chop buildings in half, using your gummy ship experience to destroy a nobody dragon, to even testing your mobility while falling from a great height, this battle plays great as a conclusion and looks flashy doing it.
In the end, Sora and Riku are pitted against Xemnas at full zebra power, who then engages them in fast-paced aerial combat that even Dante would say dude at. Halfway through this phase, you even get to play as Riku while Sora is being attacked by Xemnas, culminating in It's raining I mean, holy shit, this battle's frickin' long, but after coming this far and having literally everything you know tested, seeing one of the coolest attacks ever, and a final beatdown that makes a key look awesome is well worth the effort. It's one of the most complete boss battles we've ever faced, and it's completely satisfying.
This next battle takes sibling drama up to freaking 12. Cause hey, regardless of whatever kinds of shit you and your siblings fight about, crossing swords with your evil brother in hell will always be more dramatic. The final battle with Virgil and Devil May Cry 3 is basically the Alice duel on crack. Much more is at stake, the fight is much faster paced, and it's way more difficult.
Virgil is much faster than you, being able to dodge you instantly and then attack you by falling from the sky. Plus, this guy can slice the air so freaking hard that he rips holes in space and time! Yeah, you really need to have your dodging perfected in this battle, even if Virgil's moves are similar to yours.
The atmosphere of this fight is one full of dread. This battle's unusually orchestrated boss theme basically says, you beat this guy, you save the world, but at the same time you lose your own brother, no matter how nuts he is. And so, when you do beat Virgil and he seems to disappear forever, it feels like a loss. Can you imagine that situation being the last time you see someone you love? It's pretty damn profound for a game where shit like this happens.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
While some might say motion controls still have yet to be perfected, we say that at the very least companies are getting close. At least we got a real good indication of that from the final battle with Girahim from Skyward Sword.
What makes it so much better than, say, Virgil or Alice? This is only for starters, but it makes perfect use of Skyward Sword's revolutionary swordplay system. It's a sword duel where you're guiding the Master Sword, and especially given how evil and utterly insane Girahim is, it's safe to say that while you're angrily swinging at this bastard, you aren't just playing as Link. You are Link. The battle with the demonic sword spirit begins on a floating platform where you get to smack Girahim around until he gets knocked off the stage before you can impale him.
After his weak spot is revealed, Girahim starts creating weapons, including a sword that pretty much requires that you parry his attacks, and a surprisingly brittle buster sword that he probably bought from Gilgamesh. This part in particular can get pretty frantic as you have to chisel away at the sword fast before Girahim decides he wants to lop your head off again. But when you make that final stab into Girahim's chest, it feels triumphant because it was you who made the final blow. Just freaking incredible.
Shadow of the Colossus is a game all about slaying giant bosses, and with the exception of a few of the game's colossi, none of them ever attack you unless you provoke them. In fact, the game's largest colossus is probably the most harmless of them all. Not only is Phalanx bigger than the final colossus, it's probably the largest boss in this whole countdown. We know that some may prefer the first colossus for how perfectly it sets the tone of the game, but in terms of the game's trademark mechanics, atmosphere, and overall point, this battle satisfies all three of those the best.
After you shoot Phalanx out of the sky by hitting its air sacs, you chase it on horseback throughout the vast desert and jump on its wings as the creature takes flight. And as the epic Lawrence of Arabia style music plays, it's just a matter of taking down Phalanx's weak points while the poor beast can't do anything about it except, you know.
But when you take this graceful giant down, it feels shameful on your part. Phalanx hardly did anything to defend itself, and for a dragon it barely even looked fearsome. It's the most enjoyable boss fight in the game, and yet you'll feel terrible for enjoying it.
God of War. Yeah, where the first boss you ever fight is a giant Hydra, where you slaughter Zeus himself twice over, where a boss can be so big it becomes like a living level. There are so many cool bosses in God of War that it really comes down to choice on this one. And hey, how can you go wrong with killing the god of the fucking ocean? Poseidon controls over 70% of the earth, and he is literally the first god you kill in God of War 3.
Throughout this entire video, we've talked about bosses being kind of like exams. This fight is the inverse of that. It's the lesson. Poseidon holds back Gaia from ascending Mount Olympus, and it becomes your job to free her. Knocking back his claws allows Gaia to shove Poseidon into the wall so you can smash his chest in.
After Poseidon escapes and attacks Gaia with an uncomfortable amount of tentacles, you reenact Tarzan and free Gaia again so she can punch Poseidon so hard that his real body gets knocked out. When it's all over, Kratos gets to have his way with Poseidon. And then he invites you to join in. The input you use to finish off Poseidon uses both of your thumbs. Guess how Kratos kills Poseidon? Coolest death
Ever.
Metal Gear.
The Metal Gear series has so many bosses that could easily have been ranked as our best boss ever. From Psycho Mantis, who forever changed gaming narrative by utterly ruining the fourth wall, to Liquid Ocelot, who brought the Metal Gear Solid series to a close through a final duel between two conflict-weary men. And then, there's our number one. A realistic duel of wits in the middle of a jungle, relying on you using every ounce of stealth, detection, and defense to beat your hidden enemy. This is the end.
All odds are stacked against you in this grueling sniper battle, taking place at a massive jungle spanning 3 entire screens. The End knows the landscape inside and out while you're completely lost. He's perfectly camouflaged while you stick out like a sore thumb to him. While you're trudging through the jungle, the End is unnaturally fast. And if you try to go Leroy Jenkins on him, he'll snipe you full of tranquilizer darts and run to set up camp somewhere else. This guy is probably the most badass grandpa ever, and your goal in this battle is to hunt him down.
What makes this battle so amazing is how realistic it is. There's no one way to win this battle. You could track his footprints when he runs from his last sniping point, you could follow the direction of his gun muzzle flash, you could track this guy's very breathing with a microphone, and you could ambush him as he tries to hunt for food. All the while, you have to sneak up on him quietly and shoot him, or hold him up before he escapes. This battle can take around an hour to finish, but at no point is it boring.
This battle is intense for the same reason most good horror games are. God forbid you ever lose sight of the End, and he starts picking you off like an animal again when you least expect it. Worse yet is if you stand still for too long, the End will come up right behind you and instantly defeat you. This fight even has no music. It's just you listening to the sounds of nature. And the End's gunshots.
To add to the sheer complexity of this fight, there are a few other fun things you can do. This is such an intricate fight that Kojima, in order to prevent people from possibly getting alienated, put in a few alternate ways to kill him, including waiting a week after saving during the fight so he dies of old age.
But really, why would you want to do that? Even putting aside the fact that you're missing out on what's ultimately a very rewarding battle, the End himself has a fascinating motivation as a character. He's in the throes of death, and he's been saving all of his remaining vitality to feel the thrill of his passion for battle one last time, regardless of the outcome. So not giving the End what he wants, a fair final battle, ultimately feels like you're dishonoring a man's dying wish. The End's boss fight knows what a duel is and goes all out with it. It has so many variables in it that this fight is basically what you make it, like if you were in a similar situation with what items you had on you. With its unparalleled realism, countless fun ways to go about winning, and its role as the ultimate test of Metal Gear Solid 3's stealth, the End is our top rank on this countdown. Our best video game boss ever.
Fraser? Chewie?
I'm the Autarch of Flame, and who the hell left the projector on?
I don't think that's the projector.
Wait, what the hell's going on?
Just as I thought. I think it's coming.
What's coming?
Okay, a long story short, me and the Octarch killed a Pokemon a few episodes back, and since then we've been attacked by evil demonic Pokemon apparently trying to avenge it.
Huh?
I figured whatever's coming would only be expecting me and Chewy, so I decided to invite you along for a bit of extra manpower for this boss fight.
And who said I want to fight with you guys? Listen, I'm the guy who prevents the site from crashing, not some legendary 2D sprite killer. Here you go. It's still important.
The hell is...
Alright, you guys have fun LARPing now. I'm gonna do something useful with my time. I mean, I got standards for fuck's sake.
I will never understand him.
Dude, we have more pressing matters at hand. We gotta go call backup. No one on the theater is responding on Skype.
I think I saw something moving through the portal. It's getting through.
Still no response on Skype.
There's nothing we can do here, man. We have to brace ourselves.
May the Force be with us.
Of course you'd still be alive!
Still the same irritating quips. I'm going to relish in every moment of my silencing you.
Well, quit brooding! The minions sounded scarier than you. Now, if there's one thing different since last time...
Yes, unlike last time, you're weaponless.
Don't worry, dude. I got this.
You want to help him? You're the Autarch of Flame, are you not? Burn me alive or something. I'm weak against fire. Or can you not even muster that?
Shut up!
Why even call yourself such a thing if you can't make fire?
Shut up! Well, it's not exactly fire, but this'll have to do. How was I able to do this, though?
Rare candy. Kraser must have given you a rare candy.
Game logic at its finest.
How are you still alive?
Seriously, I cut you clean in half!
As my spirit plummeted into hell, my hatred was transformed into new life and untold power by a presence that knows naught but disarray. It is a bestial horror of unspeakable power and insanity. It is the goat of chaos. You laugh, and yet with its power I will make you rue the day you stole my life.
Okay, we get it. We killed you. If the whole sending minions to ruin our personal lives thing was meant to make us repent for that, then sure, fine, whatever. We're sorry. But that was a long time ago!
If anything, we should apologize for doing the whole angry reviewer thing.
So, in other words, you killed me as some kind of sick joke.
Yeah, pretty much. You have got to be fucking kidding me.
One of the seals on my guard is down. I'm impressed. Rather, I would be if you weren't missing my other weakness.
It seems to be working!
Now then, suffer.
Gentlemen.
What?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. Border Patrol. A demon Mothin. Well, if I'm right, then my last attack should have been super effective.
Now we have an opening.
So let's finish this thing! Together!
Die trying.
Not this time! So guys, collab.
Goat? What's it gonna like to go to?
Like, take a dump on our souls or something?
Oh shit, it's a goat!
Oh my god, it's a goat!
It's a goat! Oh! What the fuck is wrong with you? This is a fucking goat. What the fuck? Oh man, you sir are quite clever. Very quite clever indeed.